Okay guys, welcome back for another episode. We're starting this one off with the Mafex Venom, a figure that came out 3 years ago that I just got 4 days ago. So a little late to this figure here, but I gotta say I'm in love with this figure. I think it's awesome. I gotta give a huge shout out to one of my best friends in real life, Bever Clever on Instagram. We actually just did a straight up trade for this. I traded him the Revoltech Deadpool for this figure, so I think it was a pretty good deal. Both imports, both awesome figures. I never had a chance to shoot the Revoltech Deadpool, but you know, if he ever wanted to lend me the figure to take a shot with it, I'm sure he'd be super cool with that, and vice versa. If he wanted to take a shot with the Mafex Venom. It's pronounced Mafex apparently. I've been calling it Mafex for my entire life, so you learn something new every day. Anyways, yeah, if we ever wanted to take pictures of each other's toys, we have a agreement, I guess you could say. Anyways, let's get back to this figure. This figure is awesome, amazing articulation. It's based off its first appearance in the comics, so it's a little bit smaller than some of the other Venoms that scale with the 6-inch figure. So I think it looks beautiful. Extra heads, extra hands, extra feet, magnetic hands. It's a great figure. Anyways, let's talk about this shot. So I really wanted to highlight the posability for this shot, or for this figure rather, and I put him on glass. It's kind of hard to tell. I bet you guys were, or maybe some of you guys are wondering, how is he like suspended right there? He's actually sitting on a sheet of glass. Let me see if I could show you guys that real quick. Alright, yep, you can see the edge of the glass right there. So basically we call this the glass technique in ACBA, and basically what that is it allows a figure to appear airborne. And in this case I have the glass flat on top of this building right here, or sorry, maybe this better point with this finger, on this building here, and I have some other stuff over here that's holding up the glass, and it's kind of giving the illusion that he's flying through the air. And then of course I've got one of those little handy 11 by 17 printer papers that I've printed out with various comic book backgrounds on the wall. So obviously when I go to crop this photo, it's going to be only cropped within like the parameters of the actual paper here. So I think it's going to look dope. Anyways, I'm actually still working on this shot. I haven't finished it yet, but I wanted to show you guys a common problem you encounter when you're working with glass. Now, you might have to pay a little bit closer attention here, but if you look up right in this area right here, you will see a reflection of this diorama right here. And this is a common problem you have when you're working with glass. You have to kind of situate your lights in a certain way so that doesn't happen. So one of the various lights in my setup here is causing this. So I'll try to figure it out right here on camera, but I doubt I will. But I just wanted to kind of show that to you guys, because that is something that commonly happens when you're working with glass. I have to say, I absolutely hate working with glass. Luckily I got this sheet, which actually this sheet of glass is from Bever Clever as well, so shout out again, thanks a lot Brett. And you have to clean the glass, you have to prep the glass, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Usually when I'm working with it, I have it actually tipped up this way, so it's actually vertical, so it's actually a lot harder to work with it that way. This is actually one of the easier ways to work with it, because you actually just have Venom sitting right on top here. I don't want to mess with him too much. I don't want to ruin that pose. Beautiful pose, by the way. So yeah, glass is tricky, man. It's always tricky working with glass, and you have to worry about stuff like falling on top of the glass here, and like dust and dirt. I have my fan running in my room right now, so that's creating a little bit of dust and stuff. But if you have the background properly lit, or you're working with the TV, sometimes that you won't even see any of the dust or anything on there, as long as your glass is actually clean. I just use regular window cleaner, wipe it down, then wipe it down with a dry paper towel. It usually works out pretty good. You also have to keep an eye on whether or not your glass is scratched up or stuff like that, which this piece of glass luckily hasn't been scratched up or anything like that. Alright guys, I think I found the problem. The problem was this actual dial piece, which is now out of frame. I think since it's actually touching the glass, I actually have the glass on top of it to help prop up the glass, and I kind of wanted it in the shot. I think since it's in such close contact with the glass, that was what was causing the reflection. I went through each of my lights and shut them down one by one just to see if I could find out where the light was hitting and why that reflection was popping up. And I got down to my very last light and the reflection was still there. So I think there's two primary issues. It being a night scene, because if you had a daytime scene or you had a white background or a lot of light on your background, all those little imperfections usually go away. So if this was like a daytime scene, I think that reflection would have gone away. But since it's a night scene, it's a little bit darker, it's all showing up. And I think the other issue that I was having is because the dial piece is in such close contact with the glass itself. So no matter where I put the lights, it was going to show up. So, we're still learning. We're still trying new things. It's hard to have something on top of the glass and then another thing on the below the glass, having them both in focus and having no reflections and it being a night scene. So, you live and you learn. So next time we'll be a little bit more prepared. Maybe next time we have Venom flying in the daytime. Who knows? Also, I've been battling this dust literally the entire time. Like I said, if this is a daytime scene, it would be a lot easier to hide the dust, but since it's a little bit of a darker scene, the dust is kind of just making its way on top of the glass, and I'm using this paper towel to kind of wipe it away. It's hard to see, but once you actually pull it up on your computer, I have a pretty decent camera. It's a Canon 90D, so it shows every piece on there, and I think using a paper towel to wipe this off is probably a dumb move as well, because it's leaving little paper particles behind. So it's a learning curve. Like I said, we're trying new things and we're getting better. It's one of those situations where you still got a cool shot out of it, even though it's not exactly what you wanted, but at the same time you still learned a lot. So I'm counting this as a win. And you know what? You don't really need this dial piece right here to make this shot look dope. All you really need is this Venom in an awesome background. So it's going to come out pretty dope. I already checked out a couple shots, so we'll continue on it for a little bit, but it's going to look really dope. Really quick before I show you guys the finished pic, I also want to make sure you guys check out my Instagram, so instead of you just watching the videos, you can actually see the full finished done pics. And if you guys want to see more of the setup, I post a lot of reels on there too, so that link will be in the description. Definitely check me out on Instagram. I've put a lot of love and hard work into that Instagram. I've got hundreds and hundreds of shots that go back the span of a couple of years now, and there's a lot of really cool, dope things there. So shameless plug, I kind of had to, but yeah, this scene was really fun to shoot. This is an awesome figure. Definitely gonna shoot this thing again. Real quick, couple last things I can add on. Got a little blue highlight light right here, so it's giving him a little bit of a blue hue, and it works out because that background's blue too, so looks really cool. Backlighting, underlighting, side lighting, rim lighting, all that good stuff to make a really decent photo. So yeah, let's check out the finished pic now. I've talked enough like an asshole. Alright, so we got a little G.I.Joe classified haul. Came in today fresh from Amazon. I got 3 of these figures. I already had one of the bats, so I'm stoked to grab another one. I'll pick up one here and there, as long as the price is right. I think I picked it up for like $24, which isn't bad. They were showing up on eBay a few months ago when they were initially released for like $50 or something like that. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I think in terms of like Marvel Legends, so I'm like $50, that's 2 Marvel Legends, I can't do it. I just couldn't justify it. But I eventually found some for retail, and then now Amazon has them in stock for a reasonable price. I think 24 is a couple dollars more than what their actual retail price is. Maybe it's not, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm stoked to slowly build the Cobra Bat army. I'm thinking maybe like 5 or 6 is good enough for me. The whole army building thing is great and everything, but I learned my lesson with the shield agents. I ended up buying like factory cases of the Marvel Legends shield agents back in 2016, 2017, whenever those were coming out, and I ended up getting like 25 of them. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with 25 shield agents. It's just in terms of like ACBA and toy photography, it's like you can only fit so many figures into frame unless you got a large area you can take a picture with, and my area is a little bit more condensed than some. So I think a moderate army build of 5 to 6 for any army builders nowadays is a good enough number for me. So yeah, I got this is my third one, so we'll keep working on that slowly. You don't need to get them all at once, unlike some of you, which isn't a bad thing. It's totally fine. Oh, real quick, I also picked up the Crocmaster and Fiona pack today. This is actually my second one because I wanted 2 of these Fionas. She's a crocodile, right? She's not an alligator. I mean, I'm not a zoologist, so I'm not 100% sure, but his name is Crocmaster, so I assume this is a crocodile. I'm sure somebody can inform me in the comments what the difference between an alligator and a crocodile is. For the longest time, I remember crocodile you see in a while, alligator you see later, so that's the only difference I know. But this figure is amazing. When I initially got it a month or 2 back, I thought this figure was awesome, and this one pairs perfectly with 6-inch figures, so I had to get another one. And it's super articulated, and it's just a great little animal figure. You know, the animal figures are few and far between, so whenever you get an option of grabbing one, I definitely like to pick multiples up if I can. Did the same with the Snake Eyes and Timber 2-pack. I got 4 of those because I wanted it was actually a win-win because I wanted multiple of the wolves, but I also wanted more of those Snake Eyes because they look like SWAT officers, so I picked up a bunch of those. But yeah, super happy to get this, get another one of these. Crocmaster's cool too. I think he's a great figure. I haven't taken a picture of either of these yet. You know, the G.I.Joe classified figures, as much as I love them, is great of a toy line as I think they are, I don't really take too many pictures of them, and I definitely should take more. So I'm gonna try to get on that. Maybe after this you'll see me take a picture of one of these. I have a feeling I know which one I'm gonna take a picture of. Cobra Officer, I have 6 of the regular Cobra Troopers, so it only makes sense to get one of the officers, right? And I think he comes with a couple different guns, and he's got some different deco, and I think his insignia is different, and head sculpt's a little different. But I have to say, the main reason I got this was for the AK-47. I had to get it for the AK. I just when I don't really know much about guns, but the AK-47 it's the best gun. Come on, it's the best gun. Yeah, we've all seen Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. That movie rocks. So yeah, Cobra Officer, AK-47. It's a great figure. Okay, this is the one I was really excited about. Spirit. Now I believe the eagle has is the eagle's name Spirit, and then this gentleman's name is Iron Knife. I'm not really too sure. I'm trying to learn more and more about G.I. Joe, but I'm probably gonna look like some noob to some of you guys. You're like, what a fucking idiot! This guy doesn't know the difference between Spirit and Iron Knife, or maybe it's one of their names. I don't really know, dude. All I do know though is that this figure is badass. Look at this thing. I cannot wait to crack this figure open. Now, it does look like it uses the same body as the Duke, but I believe it doesn't have any of the shin pads like the Duke does. And that, man, I just didn't really like those shin pads that he was using on that figure. Even though it's still a great figure, I think it's a great figure. But yeah, same upper torso and everything. But man, this thing looks awesome. Great accessories. And it comes with the bald eagle, man. You gotta, like I said about the animal figures, few and far between. And I believe somewhere in here it comes with like spread wings for the eagle, which is pretty cool. So you can get a couple different poses out of the eagle if you want. So I like options. Options are always good. And yeah, I can't wait to crack this one open. I have a feeling I'm gonna take a picture of this guy. So pretty cool. So yeah, nice little haul. Alright, so here we got Spirit in a little setup. I now know that his name is Spirit, and he is sometimes also referred to as Spirit Iron Knife. I guess the Eagle is not either of those names. So you'll learn something new every day. Anyways, we got a really cool scene here. Use some a nice little dirt base plate that I had customized probably a year back. Got some little greenery. This is once again the fake bonsai trees, some stuff from like Hobby Lobby, just like little small fake plants that kind of work well in scenes. that you can kind of manipulate to make them look like they're to scale with the actual 6-inch figure. So nice little forest scene. I wanted it to come out a little bit sunny. To the right over here, I've got a light, and then some more lights over here. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. It's always fun whipping out all these G.I. Joes too, man. They're so articulated, they're so posable. I swapped out some of the guns on them because the guns, like the gun that Duke came with, is just horrendous and warped and just didn't work out. I didn't like it was gold and all that. I did the same for Beachhead. I used, I think that's the old Marvel Legends Madam Hydra gun, because it's got like green accents on it, so it kind of worked out perfectly for Beachhead. I think of all the G.I. Joe characters, I think Beachhead definitely came with the worst guns. They were that flat green, kind of like his knife down here, and they were just horrible. So had to give him some new guns. Roadblock in the back is holding on to the old Walgreens Punisher gun, which works out good for him. I could have used his big cylinder gun, but I didn't want to, or Gatling gun, whatever you call it. But I just didn't, them hiking around the forest with a gigantic Gatling gun, it just didn't make sense to me. So I gave him the, what is that, the MG32 or something. I don't know, dude. I don't know guns. So, but anyways, the focus of this this shot is definitely Spirit, and he's like picking up some shrubbery because by trade he's a tracker. He's able to track things really well, and I kind of wanted to give make that part of the story here, like they're going through the forest, maybe tracking down a Cobra Trooper or something, and he's the Cobra Trooper ran through here and knocked over some leaves, so Spirit's picking up the leaves and inspecting them and being like, hey, there's definitely somebody came through here. So that's kind of the story I wanted to tell. But yeah, man, these figures are so much fun to play around with, and it's really nice to get back on the table with these G.I. Joe classified figures. So yeah, turned out really cool. Let's take a look at the finished pick. Alright, so I got another little setup here. We just did the Joe, so out of respect, it only makes sense that we now do the Cobra troops, or the Bat troops. I don't see too many people doing G.I. Joe classified ACBA shots, so I wanted to do something with these guys, and like I mentioned earlier, you don't need 15 of them to take a decent shot. Right here I only have 3, and it's just more about creating a scene and telling a story, and I think this one came out pretty cool. What I really like about this is that I used the War Machine little rocket propulsion effects, and I just stuck those onto the Bat troop, which, the Bats have all kinds of different intermixed mech weapons and stuff like that they can use. So I don't know, I just used a little, tried to do a little something creative here and use those. Of course, when you're working with effects, you got to also light the effects to make them pop a little bit more, especially ones like this that are translucent. If you get a light right behind them, you can really make them pop. So I tried to do that with a light that's kind of right above here, and it's a yellow light shining down to kind of catch a little bit of that translucency of the effects there. And then I kind of did the same thing over here with these bullet stream effects. I found those on Instagram. I forget who I got them from. I think it was from Black Symbiote on Instagram I got those from. I don't know if he still is selling them or not, but effects like that, they're kind of hard to come by. Instagram is usually the best place. There's a lot of customizers on there that sell effects like that and everything, so if you're just shopping around and checking out other people's stuff, you'll end up running into some cool effects like that you could buy off them. So really happy I got those bullet streams. I think I have like 20 of them, so it's pretty cool. It's always fun to throw those into shots. But yeah, back to the lighting. I had to light those. Let me see if I can show you guys. There's a light right there that's shining directly onto those bullet streams and the little blast effects right there. I think I got those off of Etsy. So you just gotta shop around for your little props, type in action figure accessories on eBay or something like that. But yeah, those are cool little effects I wanted to kind of show. One of the Bat Troopers just getting completely annihilated, like that guy in the front, and then I have a lot of stuff going on in the background that's gonna be a little bit out of focus, and I kind of want it out of focus because the fire effects, they just, in my opinion, they look better when they're out of focus, and that's not really the main subject of my little scene here. My main subject is going to be this gentleman right here. I really wanted to show off those effects. So yeah, there's like a fire. Something blew up the building behind there. It's on fire. That Cobra Trooper has all the battle damage accessories on him, and I took off one of his hands. So it's like he was in the building when it blew up. But you know, they're bat troopers, so they're like robots, and you know, they're like Terminators basically. So they don't stop until they're 100% destroyed. So yeah, burning building in the back. This dude getting messed up right here, and then this dude using his missile shooting as like a last resort. It's a fun little scene that I put together. Got black felt in the back, doesn't reflect any light, so if you just up your contrast, you can really make it like solid black back there. And yeah, this scene kind of came together. A little grass mat on the bottom here, some old dial pieces I made way back in the day, broken brick walls, and yeah, man, this looks pretty cool. I'm really happy how this came out, so let's check it out. Alright, to wrap up this episode, I kind of wanted to show you guys a little passion collecting project I've been working on. I've never really jumped into graded comics, but I wanted to get the original 12 issues of Watchmen graded in above 9.0 if I could. And over the last couple months, I've gotten quite a few of them, so I'm just going to show you guys these real quick. I absolutely love this comic. I think it's probably one of the greatest stories ever told as far as graphic novels, and I love Dave Gibbons' artwork. I think Alan Moore's storytelling is second to none, and this book is just so awesome. I just reread it for like the third or fourth time, and it's been a long time since I read it. I think the last time I read it, I was in high school, so it's been over 10 years. And I gotta tell you, man, when I reread it, I just fell in love with it again. So that's when I started down this steep hill of collecting graded comics, and I'm a little scared, honestly, of what happens after I collect all these. But let's go through these real quick. Number 2, like I said, I haven't collected all of them. I've gotten 8 of them so far. I need 11, 12, and 5 and 6, which from what I've seen are probably some of the harder ones to find. But yeah, let's go through this. Number 2, love this cover. Comedian died. This is from the cemetery, and yeah, it's a great cover. That was kind of a tough one to track down, to be honest, but awesome cover. All right, this one, number 3, Fallout Shelter cover here. This is when shit starts to get real in the comic, and a little bit of foreshadowing here, so pretty good. This is probably my favorite cover, and probably my favorite chapter of the book too. Probably why it's my favorite cover. Dr. Manhattan's origin story. So love that cover, dude. And then number 7. So we've skipped over 5 and 6. Still looking for those. Those are the 2 main Rorschach chapters. But number 7, Night Owl. This is when I think they rescue everybody from the tenement building. They suit up for the first time in a couple years. Love that cover. It's Night Owl's eye looking at Archie the owl ship. Another amazing cover. This is definitely one of my other favorites. Hollis Mason's death is in this chapter, and the story just keeps going. It's freaking great cover here, man. I wish someone would actually make this trophy. I would totally buy it. Another one of my favorite covers. I'm gonna say that for like all of them. I love all these covers, but I think this is when Lori starts getting it, is about to go on Mars, and they're kind of telling her origin story, or maybe she's already on Mars. I can't remember exactly, but it sounds about right. Issue number 9. And then shit really starts getting real when this issue hits, and Dr. Manhattan has left Earth, and Richard Nixon realizes that he may not be coming back, and the war with the Russians may be coming up sooner than they had visioned. And then today, and this is probably why I'm filming it, I got the Holy Grail today. I got number 1. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to these grades, but I mean, obviously the grading from 9.6 and above is like, the price difference is crazy, but I'm really happy I got this above a 9. Decent price. Love this cover, probably the most iconic cover out of all of them. And it's nice to finally get number 1 out of the way, and we can focus on those other covers. So excellent cover, excellent book. If you have not read Watchmen, you need to. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode, guys. And make sure to check out all the stuff below in the description. If you guys want to send me a message, if you have any comments or anything like that, obviously put them in the comment section below. But if you want to send me a message, do it on Instagram. That's the easiest way to reach me, is private message on Instagram. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I've already been filming the third installment of this series, so I'm having a blast so far, and we're just going to keep going, riding it out, see where it goes. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
That's crispy.